We're live. What's up, guys? This is Keith Kelfis with the Untrapped Podcast, live in house with your boy, Greg Chism. Don't be scared, man. Greg, I want to let you guys know who he is. If you don't know who this guy is the original OG GOAT of lawn care YouTube. I'm talking 2013. I go on YouTube. I start my channel. I'm doing some research, and nobody's on there. I'm like, lawn care and landscaping on YouTube doesn't exist. I mean, there was a couple guys making a couple just like basic videos, but then I saw this one guy making videos of like he's push mowing a lawn and he's cutting, he's got the walk behind, and he's just telling stories over lawn care and it's getting views. And I'm like, who is this guy? So I go nuts. I'm uploading 5 videos a day. I get his attention. Next thing you know, we become friends. And he was the guy, Geek to Freak, his name of the YouTube channel, and used to have this thing called My Workout Your T-shirt, and different lawn care guys would like send their T-shirt or something and you'd work out. If you saw his videos, bro, they'd make you laugh, they'd make you cry, they'd make you think. And this was at a different era. This was the beginning of the nucleus of all this. But Greg is the guy. He's the guy who like the nucleus of this entire thing of thousands of long. You don't have to believe me. Go check around and ask, and the facts will be told. I'm like, I'm taking a big deal on this, but and I want to lead this off and start this off with. I want to talk about stress management in your lawn care business and breathing exercises and being overwhelmed and not being scared and shit like that. What's up, Greg?
Thank you. By the way, this is my first ever live, and I'm doing it with you. The perfect choice.
I appreciate it, bro.
And why is that? Well, because, like you said, I was really active on YouTube back in the day, and there wasn't an option to go live and all this stuff. So
no, not at all.
No, it was a totally different game, and that's why when you searched lawn care on there, you found me, and then it was a small world, and I found you. You actually called me out and did an ice bucket challenge and put my name in the title, and that's why I found it, and that's how we can.
Oh, hey, my cousin's on here on Twitch. What's up? You're probably like my only Twitch follower. I appreciate it. And I see Austin Douglas ditch the itch. So, yeah, dude, when there was the Ice Bucket Challenge, and all respect to what the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge was really about, because I know a bunch of social media people took it to a totally different thing. And so, and I'm guilty as well. I have all the respect, but I had this idea. I was like, how do I get these people's attentions? And I challenged you, but here's what I did. I lived in this small 1-bedroom apartment, and I got a bunch of studio lights and ran extension cords. Like I just had this impulse. It was like 9 o'clock at night. It's getting dark in the summer. And now I'm setting up like lights all over the place and cameras and I'm using cell phones. As my wife, give me your cell phone. I need another camera. And my neighbors, it was a small apartment complex, like a U-shaped, and they were all coming outside, just eating chips. What is she doing? Bro, I had an audience and people, everybody was looking out the windows, and now it became like a spectacle. And so I had like the water and the ice and dumped it on my head. And then I posted this video, but it looked like this reality thing. And then it got your attention and then we became friends.
Yeah, it was great. It worked. And then I had to do mine. And you and me both, we tried to actually honor the mission of the Ice Bucket Challenge and stuff. Like you said, other people ran with it in different directions later, but there was a good thing came from it. We met because of it. So there you go.
You know, I'm gonna just stop talking. So you talk, bro.
Okay. Well, you were talking about stress management, and I think my videos were the first lawn care vlogging videos, but I got on YouTube for self-help, and I was soaking up all this knowledge. I didn't have people in my life that taught me stress management or anything. Like I didn't have any tools to work with, so to speak. And so I was finding it all for the first time through YouTube, and then I'd learn something, and then I would speak it in my vlogs too. And when I did my voiceovers, I'd talk about, okay, you see what just happened to me there? my wheel flew off my mower or whatever, I could easily freak out, have a big problem. But I had to like calm down, breathe, don't run back to the truck, trying to grab a tool real quick. Just turn the thing off, walk back over there, get the correct tool you need, come back. You probably made a big chunk taken out of the yard. Don't think ahead about that. And so I was my vlogs had a lot of that self-help talk in there, and a lot of that I would be speaking it into the camera also as a reminder to myself, because as you know, sometimes I'd hear something and then I'd be telling it to myself again, reminding and instilling it in myself by making a video about it or putting it in a video or showing my bad reaction to something and how I could have done it better, how they could possibly do it better. So,
It's like you did this whole anti-guru effect thing.
yeah.
Like, because you being a solopreneur, and so in like my business, I used to get insecure on YouTube and think, oh my God, I don't have a multi-million-dollar company and more trucks, and every single year I don't have more and more and more and more and more. It was, you know what I mean? And then your heart was like, in your heart, were you encouraging people, or were you like, what was the intention behind it?
And I started making the longer videos. Okay, the channel is called Geek to Freak Lawn Care. I brought the shirt out just for this. But see, I started on there with self-help stuff, and I felt like a geek my whole life, and my nickname was a geek. Okay, and so it was Geek to Freak Fitness. I started working out, changing my mindset, doing things. I wanted to go from geek. Someone said in the comments, you're going from geek to chic, like some old TV show that had that Ricky Lake. And then someone else said, now he's going from geek to freak. And then that turned into that. So when I would make these fitness videos and self-help videos, people would see my lawn equipment in the background. Because sometimes I go in my garage and make a video, and there's trimmers, blowers, whatever. And they started commenting, what's up with all this lawn equipment? And then I said, well, here's what I do for a living. And then all of a sudden, if you build it, they will come. People were like, this guy's into lawn care and running it out of his house and garage. And that's what I do. And so then there was a lot of fitness guys that were actually doing the same thing. They were watching my channel for fitness, and now they're like, oh my God, my garage is full of lawn equipment too. And so that's how it turned into. So then I just got rid of the fitness, put lawn care there. And it was just a logo banner on my channel. I didn't sell shirts or anything. But I gave some away.
Yeah, bro. I remember at the first YouTube Rally meetup, or the second, when you brought boxes of t-shirts and were giving them away.
Yeah, I went and I bought like $700 worth of shirts and gave them away to people.
Dude, I had that shirt forever. Those were magical times, man. And you hit like 180 or 200,000 subscribers. How many subscribers on that channel?
Well, I think it didn't get that high. It got that high later when I converted it into other stuff and started doing other videos too. But there were other people doing lawn care things, but not in vlogging style. And I got that from the fitness YouTubers that were like, you just follow them throughout their day. So follow me throughout my lawn care day. So it got up to 50,000, and then it turned into, then as time went on, I started making every type of video about everything in my life, right? So I started making other channels and all that. But my videos, some of them were getting the most views that any lawn care type of thing was happening. But it all started happening right then, because I don't want it to sound like, I blazed the trail, look at me, but there wasn't a blueprint. And so by me just coming out and vlogging all this stuff, and then people asking for different style of videos, I ended up making all the first ever, like, really day in the life of how to do this, how to cut a lawn from start to finish for money, and how much money you should charge, and then like some wild crazy ones people would request too. So it ended up becoming something like, and that's because of the comments and the people, the community. It turned into a community. So it was the early stage. There wasn't a community. And then 2013, it started forming a community. You were on there, and we connected because of the Ice Bucket Challenge. And then it was like connecting the lawn care and landscaping community, which were both really infancy, almost hardly a community at all, or nothing, or just a few scattered channels. It's amazing that it happened like that.
If you guys watching this on video right now on the Untrapped Podcast YouTube channel, go over there and check it out if you want to see the video version of this. I have been uploading it to my main YouTube channel at Keith Kelfis, and I'm not sure how long form content and the long podcast videos are going to go. So, but it is for sure at Untrapped Podcast. I got my face in my hand, right? My face in my hand right now, well, thinking about all this.
You think about it, and you look back though. I only knew what I knew, and I only wanted to put out. I didn't want to lie to people and say I'm this big business or anything, and but I wasn't. And I felt inferior because I knew in my town there were people running around with crews and all this stuff. So I was just completely honest, and I put out only what I knew to show, and I didn't try to inflate anything or act like I was this or that. I just stayed in my lane and told you this, that. People come and say, well, you should do it like this and that. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. Or I'd say, I'm not at that stage yet. I'd like to be that big eventually with lawn care or whatever. But I just stayed in my lane. And that's what you were doing. You weren't making up any weird stories and trying to be somebody you weren't. So the real knows real is a saying, and it's real. People connected.
I thought about that before, like pull up to a job site where there's like $1 million in equipment and a whole big crew working, and just stand in front of it and be like, hey guys, I'm here on my. But if you do that, you tell that lie, now you got to tell another lie tomorrow and another lie. Oh shit, you're in hot shit now.
And where do you go with it? Oh wow, you bragged about something that's not true, and then that you can never talk about it again.
Do that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So
even thinking about it makes me squirm.
Yeah. And so that's why people started flooding into it at first.
Oh yeah, when I thought about it, I wasn't contemplating doing it. It was just like a funny thought, right?
Yeah, well, because if you watch enough YouTube in different genres, you started seeing like pretenders, fake people in every little genre. You get somebody gets like successful in something, and then there's people who kind of naturally turn it into something else, but they're they take it and make it their own and that. But then you have these just like, oh wow, I don't even know anything about lawn care, but I'm going to go out and make a lawn care video. They don't even own a lawnmower, like you said. They're going to go stand by your trailer or something, and then make a video. It got wild there for a little while, but everybody levels it out. The community, real knows real. Real knows real. But back to what you were saying about being calm and relaxing. I always had a problem with that. Like in the 90s, I didn't have any coping skills, anything like that. And I was a mess. And I have anxiety. I still do. And it's a constant battle. I got nervous coming on here. And right before we went on, everybody, Keith goes, I always do 21 push-ups before I get on here. And I go, okay, go for it. And I was like right here in my office. So I just did some squats. And then I sat here and I was doing my deep breathing to calm myself back down. And all of a sudden Keith popped back up. And then I was like, okay, I can do this. Be easy, Greg. And my saying that, even though my channel is called Geek to Freak, one of my sayings always was, don't be scared. And I was telling people, don't be scared to try new things. Don't be scared to go for it. Don't be scared to do what I just did right there. I think you can make $100 if you do it too. But I was also telling myself, don't be scared, Greg Chism. Calm down. Be easy. It's going to be okay.
Dude, teach us a breathing exercise. Talk more about all this and how you talk to yourself. This is hyper valuable.
It's not anything new. It's
All right, you're taking a deep breath. He's holding it. He's breathing out slow.
Now, I should do more than that.
Let's do more. He's box breathing, ain't he? Everybody joining along, if you're not watching this, just take a deep breath.
And exhale is where it's really at.
You got me yawning. I'm not even tired, bro.
Yeah, we don't want to tire everybody out. But we want them to be relaxed and be calm. Everything's good. Right? So the sky's not falling. Not right now. Tomorrow when you're at work, that's when the problems will set in. But you'll get through them. It's just another day.
Oh, they're at work right now. They're on a mower listening to this shit.
Oh, they're listening. Yeah, there you go.
So
hey, it's better than listening to a weed eater all day, which is what I did for 20 years before I got headphones that were louder than the lawnmower and weed eater.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And this is why I'm on your channel. This is why I'm on your channel, and this is why we connected a long time ago. And at the GIE, everybody, I suffer from migraines also. And so I had anxiety being there and finding out people were real. So people that were watching my channel when I went to the GIE, there they were. That's real. I got shaky. I got nervous.
Dude, I know. You showed up to your own after party and it was packed.
And I got scared. And migraine triggered a migraine, tightness all the way down the right side of my neck, my eye, freaking out. I wanted to go like throw up and die. Keith takes me out in the parking lot behind this building, and he talks.
I'm like, here, take a puff of this.
You know,
just
going to breathe, and you know what though? It was we looked up at the sky. And we're like, it was the perfect night, dude. It was like you could see every star, and we're like in a city area, but you could see every star up there, and it was relaxing. And all of a sudden, there wasn't really any cars, like, gunning it, banging doors, nobody screaming, yelling. We were around some people. It was nice and peaceful. I calmed down, and I walked back in there, and I was more easy. And that way, I didn't panic because I was like, oh man, how nice to meet you. And I was talking to everybody, and I didn't know how to spread my time out efficiently. And I was just like, and boom, I depleted myself. But after meeting Keith, chilled for like 5 minutes, calmed down. And then we waited another 5 minutes. Probably about 15 minutes later, we went back in. It was all good. Bro. I'll never forget that. And that's one of the reasons why we connected, because I was talking about this stuff. And as you guys know, you watch Keith's channel, he is into self-help and bettering yourself and knowing your own like triggers and things that have held you back in your life, right? What you're insecure about, what shakes you up, what you worry and think about. And so we were open with our community and our everybody we came in contact with, but each other. And so that's why we felt like we could go. Keith felt like, come here, Greg, took me out there. And he could do that because that's something that we both were working on. And I'm still working on it. I know you are too. It's a forever thing.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean, you can be in therapy your entire life. It doesn't mean you go one day and say, I'm cured forever. It's a trait. It's something that's in you that you got to battle with. I don't want to compare or anything, but like an addiction, right? Something like that. It's like a life. People, I haven't drank in somebody say I haven't drank in 35 years, but they're still say they're an alcoholic, right? They're still working on it every day or whatever. Well, I'm trying not to be scared every day. I'm trying not to shake and have anxiety.
People are addicted to their struggle.
There's that too.
Neuropeptide release and these different chemicals when you get stressed out, and then you hit rock bottom, and then all of a sudden something happens and you're free and you feel better. And it's this like roller coaster cycle, and it could be perpetuated just by thoughts.
Oh man, thoughts can do it. You can lay flat in your bed and you can think of certain calm things, and you can just be resting. but you can also lay there and think, and you can make nothing be wrong. You can make your like blood pressure rise. You can make sweat start going under your armpits while you're laying there calm. And then you can do that you can change your entire mood just by imagining things that maybe didn't even happen. Like you have to bring up some traumatizing things from the past. You can make up a scenario and trigger, your body. So sometimes in life, as you're just going out, living your normal life, doing your job, right? You don't realize these little things that happen to you all day that you just sort of like suppress down. They're actually building up on you. And then later at 3 p.m. when the final thing happens that sends you over the edge, your whole day's ruined, might ruin somebody else's day. It feels like the end of the world. But it was brewing all day. So you got to like reset throughout the day every once in a while. And it's easy to get caught up and not take the time to breathe or calm down. You're pulling up. You get in there, you load our stuff up. Oh, this taking too long. Oh, I dropped the blower, pick it up. You're driving down the street, turn a corner, another corner. Boom. You're looking at it, you got 4 more yards right there. And you're freaking out. You're looking at your time. Oh, it's never getting done. You're rushing and rushing around. That's when it's going to happen. And because you feel like if you don't get those 4 done by a certain amount of time, any little problem happens, it's the end of the world. Oh, but it's really not the end of the world. Well, what happened is you'll probably lose some money. And at the time, $40 seemed like a lot of money. If I only get 3 of them done and I can't do them tomorrow and it's Friday, and if I don't get that yard done, because I have to be somewhere else picking up my kids, I got this, I got a wedding to attend, whatever, right? If I don't get that last one done, I don't get the money. Because next week, I don't get back here till next week. And so, but in the big
I get a little bit of anxiety just thinking about scenarios like that, listening to you right now.
We've all had them, and you're like, what, like maybe you're getting rained out 3 or 4 days in a row. Somebody's calling you for this landscape. When are you going to come start this? You said you'd be here Monday. It's been pouring for 3 days. And then you're freaking out. Oh, dude, I don't even want to bring it up to you. See, right there, you just went.
No, there's a certain thing.
Reset. That's a reset. It's real. I'm already sweating. Am I sweating? Calm down. Give me that drink of water.
You're like a master hypnotherapist. When I talk to you, you get me all calm. You could talk a little more, get me all freaked out.
Yeah, well, that's how I say that's because it happens to me, dude. You know it. It's the real world, okay? We all have something. They might not have anxiety, but they have some sort of stresses out there, and they have problems. People have been through a lot of things in their life, and life is not easy all the time. And I mean, if we're talking to entrepreneurs or whatever, then it's very stressful. And just basically having a job trying to make money to survive or support other people that you love and care about, that's a weight on your shoulders, right? So we all got it in our life, man.
You're triggering so much stuff in my head right now. I could go in 5 different interesting directions, and I'm just gonna stay on the topic, bro.
Yeah, to stay on the topic, and the topic is that everything is going to be okay in the long run. I mean, okay, we've talked about this too before, Keith. Like, I've had like a lot of, like, not, meteoric rises. I've had like a lot of things in my life just going along, ups and downs. But those downs, man, they might not be like even a huge deal in reality, but they felt like you were like, I don't know, you just fell down in the Grand Canyon or something. You were way down. They say that don't make mountains out of molehills too, right? So sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get up Mount Everest. But in the scheme of things, some of that stuff is really not that bad, but time shows you that when you look back. It's kind of like a stock market, right? You're like all these crash and burns in the stock market, but overall it kind of went up. You don't notice it when you stretch it out for 100 years. But when you're down in that little dip there that doesn't look like much, now that it's 30 years later, that feels bad. So that's when you have to have tools to keep yourself from giving up, turning to something else. You need, I'm going to say it, you need more natural ways to cope with things. And some of that's just mental, talking, thinking, breathing, physical activities, because I don't want people to turn to drugs or alcohol to relieve that day's stress and then become addicted. I've seen that happen to too many people. Yeah.
Just listening to you talk puts me in like I'm experiencing everything you're saying. That's why you're a master marketer and social media creator. Motherfucker's got like 6 secret YouTube channels. They know I'm about to tell us one. You got what do you what's your lawn care channel?
Well, I mean, I just mess around. I very rarely post lawn care stuff. I do it part-time now. I was full-time solo for many years. I mean, my father started doing lawn care.
And I don't even know what I'm talking about, because I know you got a lawn care channel. I asked you one time, and I don't want you to say anything here on the podcast.
No, I don't.
But I did say,
don't be scared. Greg Chism is just like my overall everyday. If I post any lawn care stuff, it's on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I rarely post.
Because one time a few years ago, I asked you, I was like, you got any other thing else on YouTube? I got like 6 channels, because I do have 6 channels. You're like, I might be doing a little something. I might be experimenting.
I do have a couple other ones, but
don't even say them. I'm just a big fan, bro.
Well, that's back to the whole community, and that's back to how this YouTube world works. Okay, I'm not exaggerating when I say like there's 20 million YouTube channels uploading a video like every week.
That's insane.
But you guys found Keith, right? And some people found me, and you find other people. Like, you'd be surprised how many people find stuff just by naturally. Like I was on a fitness channel, and I was having a fitness channel. They found lawn care guy on there, right? And so people connect. So if you find me, you find me. It was meant to be, right?
I like that.
And I've had people pop up on other channels and go, "Oh my God, I know you, Greg. I remember watching, your braces videos or your lawn care stuff." I'm like, cool. Wow, I didn't know you were into this too.
I got this new thing. Actually, I want to go down a slightly.
I'm not on here to promote anything. I'm not on here like to push anything.
No, you're totally genuine.
My friend.
There's a specific thing I want to ask you, and so I'm kind of doing this experiment. I'm so in love with marketing and social media. I mean, dude, it's my passion. It's an obsession. That I've been asking some of the people that follow my content, if you ever have had a secret dream or desire to start your own YouTube channel and maybe even become what they call an influencer or start your own podcast, but maybe you feel like you don't have time to do it, and maybe you even would want to learn how to monetize and make money and build side streams and make internet money. If if that interests you, I have a proven framework that I use and I'm putting together. Find me on social media, send me an email, untrappedpodcast@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram at Keith Kalfas. Keith Kalfas everywhere, Facebook, and send me a private DM. It's not private, it's just a direct message with the word framework. All right, I just want to drop there. And then connected to that, I want to ask you, because I've actually called you up before when you've had some videos go really big, and I say, like, Greg, what was in your head? How do you get like the Steven Spielberg type vision? There's something magical that what I'm talking about now is you could tags, titles, and keywords and videos and all these things. And I'm not trying to make this about YouTube, but the one thing is the intangible part of you being a creator. What could you say if you could quantify it and condense it down into maybe like 1 or 2 minutes? What is that thing that allows you to make this content that's just you talking on a camera, but it's like fucking magical, bro?
Well, I think we all have something in us that we can naturally do, but we don't maybe realize we can do it. And like, I couldn't speak on here for the longest time. So I started a channel in 2011. I was just going under and reading a headline to learn how to read into the camera without like stuttering it and messing it up. And I posted, get 1 view, and I'd freak out because somebody saw it. And so whatever you're into something in your life. So that's where you start, and then you go with it. And the first 100 things you put out online, they're like your baby steps. You haven't even really, you can't even really walk, you know. You can't even walk down the hall yet. You're gonna fall. So it's all kind of like junk. You're putting out junk at first till you kind of find your voice and your flow, and one thing leads to another. Mine was totally this part of my life to that part of my life and all that. And once you get maybe good at just doing what me and Keith are doing right now, being able to not worry about what your voice sounds like, what you look like on the screen, and then you can start to not pause as much and be able to connect a few words out to, you know, into the video. Then you will you'll start making some stuff that one day when you're doing it, it'll be kind of like effortlessly. It's just like it's like an idea and you just do it, and that's when things get good. So my better videos kind of came naturally. But I made 500 crappy videos. I've made 100 crappy videos, and then they just slowly started getting better. And some would be good, some would be bad because I tap into things. It was just a good video. It was natural. Hey, whatever. Some of them were vlogs. Some of them I kind of thought about and wrote it out a little bit and then did it. And somewhere I had to go out and shoot different scenes and edit together, and I didn't know how to do that at first. So those took a long time before I started doing ones that took editing, because I had to learn editing. I thought about it maybe for 6 months because I didn't think I had the technique and the skills to do that yet. And then by the time I was more natural at some of the basic things, I'd have these like streams of conscious, like where I get an idea and I'd go do it. And believe it or not, those ended up being the good ones because it came kind of smooth. It went from idea to reality. It might not even pause. Some of them I thought of an idea and then I just got up and went and did it. But you can't do that with everything. Like right now, I make some videos on channels. I have to edit it, and it might take me, 2 weeks to do
a video.
So that's one where you maybe writing stuff down a little bit every night. I want this and that. A couple days later, you're like, oh, I want it, isn't it? You get a whole list of things you want to do in the video, and you start working on
it. So what if somebody's like, I don't got the time for all that?
Well, that you don't have to do those, because look what we're doing right here. And I was going to go cut the grass, so I thought I'll put a tripod right here, and it shows me cutting the front yard. That's how that stuff started. And I thought, oh, I used to put my phone on my kitchen table, and it'd shine candy corner back, and it had the front door. Sometimes the door would be open, sometimes it'd be closed, cars going by, and I had the tripod always in the same spot. Like there was little markings that were just naturally scratches on my table where I knew like where the legs would go. You go boom, that's where I fit in the camera, and I go boop, and you see my finger going boop, and you'd hear me going click and turning it up. I'd think of something, I'd walk over and go click, talk about it, 2-3 minutes, click, turn it on, upload. Whatever happens, happens. It finds its own home. Back then I didn't know too much about tagging and stuff. But I learned, you call it what it is. You don't try to clickbait so much, because if you put on there, it's, I don't know, Justin Bieber or whatever, and they see your face, they're going to get out of there. You got the wrong audience. What did you put on there? I just realized why I have anxiety today. That's my title. You know who's going to click it on? Somebody who probably had anxiety that day, and it came across their feed because they were searching for anxiety. So it found its home. Now, some of them, people didn't like it. Most people, so if the video has 100,000 views, it might only have 1,000 likes. So like 1% cared enough to even like it. And then you have like 10 people that hated it and had to leave a comment like, I know about that. And then you have all these other people that I don't know what happened. Did they like it? Did they not like it? They indifferent? They just watched it? I don't know. So you can't stress about that either. Like, what are other people going to think? It's not your job to worry about what other people think about you. It's not my job to worry what people think about me, because when I do that, my life falls apart.
When I first started making the YouTube and all the videos, because I've been making videos my whole damn life, bro. But when I went on my rampage, we call it 2013, 14, 15.
Well, you were banging them out. I was watching them all. I was trying to. I couldn't keep up some nights.
I upload 10 in one day. So my wife would go to work, and she was a waitress, and people and our family members and her friends and her coworkers were coming up to her because my shit was showing up on people's feeds and all over Facebook and everywhere. And they were like, "Is your husband okay? Like, he's in the bathroom ranting and yelling. Is he on a rampage? Is he like?" And my wife got really upset, and they wanted to have like an intervention with me because they thought I had some mental illness shit going on. I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm fucking growing an empire."
Like, and that went back to the thing. I remember those videos. Like you would walk in there, close the door, and because that's right when it hit you. This idea, this thought, and it was something that was actually cohesive and could help people. And so you had it in your head, and boom, you had to put it out right then. And that's how it goes. And that was actually a helpful thing that you did, because
2 years later, all those same people, when I was making money on the internet and getting, tens of thousands of views on videos, some hundreds of thousands, now I became the superstar. Oh my God, like Keith. It's like, but I had a vision, and I didn't waste time communicating with nobody except all you guys.
And if you would have worried about what other people were thinking, it would have stopped. It would have stopped you, stopped you. It would have slowed your roll. It would have, blown your train of thought. So,
part of the reason I got so many views and subscribers, because I was not afraid to walk through a grocery store and a restaurant around other people, like, "What up, Joe?" And people were like, "How does he do that?"
I was even impressed, and I've done some grocery store videos myself and in public, and I was like, wow, that was a pretty crowded place to be just walking through, talking to your phone,
There's this guy, I'm friends with him. I was actually just working out while he was working on Instagram earlier. He's working out on Instagram, doing burpees and calisthenics. I'm like, shit, I'm doing it too with him. And I got a great workout. His name is Sean G Motivation. And this guy he just makes videos straight up in the stupid. There's people behind him like opening up and grabbing milk and looking, and he's doing push-ups on the grocery store floor. And it's great.
And there you go. Don't be scared to do that type. Don't be scared to, you have to start with stuff like that. Just turning the camera on, recording yourself. What am I going to talk about? Well, if you don't have anything to talk about, then just read something into the camera. Now you're going to play it back for yourself, and you play it back just to make sure you're in frame and they can hear you, the audio work. Stop it. Okay, you heard 30 seconds, it works fine. Upload it, because that's your next test. You want to wait till you want to see view number 1 and it's not you, or if you watch it yourself, then you got to wait till you get 2 or 3 views. Then you got to get over that panic. You have to start with simple videos if you're trying to start. And once you start, that's when you need to start paying attention and like talk to Keith, get in his program or whatever. Like maybe you want to wait till you're 30 or 50 videos, or you have a real idea of what you want to do. But that's when you reach out and talk and follow people that are into it like that. And Keith has been into it. I mean, he probably made 1,000 videos just in 2013 to 2014, 15. I don't know. Look, that's 365 days. You make 3 videos a day. I mean, that's nothing for some people. I watch a guy on YouTube right now called The Hockey Guy. And he's got a really big, nice channel. You know what he does? He watches every hockey game, and he does his own like analysis of it at the end. And he uses a whiteboard. He's got a camera stuck in the same spot. He's in his room. He's got hockey jerseys hanging up. His cat jumps up on the cat tree back there, background. Everybody likes that. And it's just him talking about it. And it's great. And also, you don't know whoever you are out there right now, you don't know if other people will resonate with you or not. You don't know that yet until you start doing it. You might find out that you're actually someone who's going to change somebody else's life. Maybe you're
not the hockey guy.
Yeah, the hockey guy. All his videos are just, a basic camera and him, and it's great because it's his personality and delivery, and he just talks about that. It's.
I gotta look this up.
And what I'm saying is, sometimes there's like 16 games, and he tries to cover all of them, so he has to upload a lot of videos in a day.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to say in the comments, we're just live right now on the Untrapped Podcast YouTube channel and Twitch. I normally go live on 8 platforms at once, but I've been overwhelming people with too much content going live. So Brian Race, who is Mr. Producer.
Oh, Mr. Producer, I know who he is.
Said Greg is real and authentic. Thanks for having him on.
And he works with Paul Jameson. And speaking of in the Green Industry Podcast, and speaking of old school, 2013, 14, man, I probably got Instagram 2014, 15. I don't know when I got it, but it was the very early stages. And Paul was the first one to ever send me like a video in like the private messenger. And it was like one that disappeared after I watched it. And I was like, what? How did this happen? And he was at his truck. He was at his truck in front of a yard. He was kind of, covered in grass like most of us. And he was standing there going, look at this. Like, I ran out of string before I could finish the yard all the way. I'm back here having to put some more in and go back to the backyard. Like you said, that's how it always happens. And I'm like, yeah. So, I don't know. Social media is great. It's great. And I'm older than you, but neither one of us are true social media generation. We didn't grow up with it, is what I'm saying. We haven't had it since a kid. We came into it as it was being invented and stuff. And I think I'm not gonna say it's for us, but boy, we sure took to it because we were missing something like this our whole life, and the opportunity is finally here. And so we naturally are like taking full advantage of it, right? Like some people just think of it as entertainment or a way to, play a game or whatever, have fun. But we're like, you mean I can go live talking to Keith on my phone and other people that we're connected to can watch this? And yeah, I got to do it, right? And like, I can make my own little mini production with basic equipment, a $500 laptop or a $300 camera and a little free editing program. I can do stuff like this. I wish I could do stuff like that. I mean, I don't have to go beg like ABC or NBC to put my show on air or something. I could put it on the air, and people who like that stuff find it. Oh my gosh. We're like jumped all in. I couldn't believe it. Music industry, there's no gatekeeper. You write a great song and you get on YouTube with it. It can get found and it can do its thing, and no one can hold you back. You don't even have a record label. You don't have to sign no bad contract. It's unbelievable. There's no better time than right now to be yourself and do your own thing and actually have success, maybe financially, or just like peace of mind and like happiness. Just get the happiness from it instead of having to spend like, how many people throughout history just have written songs that somebody would have loved and they've just never had a way to play them for anybody. Now they're on YouTube all the time playing stuff. I find random things and random person. I wrote a song. I'm listening to it. Oh, that's really good. I give it a thumbs up and I leave a nice comment. if that's all he gets out of it, that might have made his day too. But who knows? Maybe somebody else sees it and they want to cover it, and then things happen for him because of that, right? Dude, I'm telling you, social media is the way, and it can make you happy if you don't use it in the wrong way, which is always for entertainment or always looking for like the news, because then you're going to be offended all the time. They're only going to put stuff out there that you don't like to try and get you to get upset and stuff. So you have to just use it for the cool stuff, right? You can still have fun. You can watch stuff, watch Keith's videos, watch everything, watch funny stuff, but you gotta stick to what makes you happy, and look for ways to put something on there that makes you happy and helps other people, possibly, or just entertains them. Your turn.
You have this enthusiasm when you talk. I feel like I want to get off here and go get my cameras and just start scripting my own damn internet TV show.
Well, I do think, and I'm sure you're and a lot of people that watch, they have all these ideas of like what they would do, and I have thousands of things that I've never done that I wished I wish I could do, or I still think about it. I'd like to, like, someday, like, boom, all of a sudden some 2-hour epic homemade movie, hits that I've been working on for a year or whatever. But I've never gone that far. But I think about stuff, right? And I'm sure a lot of people do. They think about things, but so you don't be scared, man. Go ahead and just do it. If they like you, good, if they like you, good. If not, goodbye.
Don't despise small beginnings. Have a beginner's mindset.
Oh my gosh. And that's where we all started. It was all beginner stuff. I mean, Ed Sheeran, he had big, massive success a few years ago, but he started writing crappy songs and hitting wrong chords and stuff too. And he just started playing guitar and trying to write songs every day.
Dude, his voice.
You know what? There's probably 1,000 songs from his first few years that he wrote, because he wrote them every day. His first 3 years, there's 1,000 songs that you'll never know, and he probably considers them junk, but they were the baby steps to when he was like, oh, now that's a good one, right? It just came fluid the one day. You don't know when it's going to be sometimes.
Do it's crazy? I think it was like late 2015. My wife and I were all stressed out. It was winter. We were arguing and shit, just cooped up in the house. And I was so frustrated, I left. I'm like, I'm just going to go to my office and go work. And it's like 11 o'clock at night. She's like, fine, I don't give a fuck where you go. We were really upset with each other. And I go in like, because you said Ed Sheeran. I'll just make it quick. And there's like a little overhead speaker in my office space, and it just plays random hits all the time. And then I was so upset. And all of a sudden I heard that song, Honey, I Love, da-da-da-da, 70. I'm talking about how people fall in love in it. Yeah. So as soon as I started getting goosebumps, and I just stopped, and I was all pissed, and I just listened to that song, and my eyes filled up with tears, and I had goosebumps. And I thought about how much I loved my wife. And I was like, dude, I ain't even mad at her, bro. And I just went home and everything was like fine. And it was that song.
Isn't that amazing though?
Because it's the power of human emotion, and like it's a frequency and like positive vibes and shit.
And look how that worked. I just talked about him. You had an experience right there. He didn't mean for you to have that experience, but he meant he wrote that song out of a stream of consciousness, and he knew that the potential was for someone to have some sort of attachment or connection to it at times, and it found its right place. It found its home right then. And so many things are like that in this world. So many things. Sometimes I call it like the freak eye, because everybody calls me, Keith's a freak. And so I see like things that maybe other people don't notice, right? Sometimes it's like that connection right there, right? And then other little things, it could be like a bug or something crawling on a tree over there. But I try and be more aware of, like, wait a second, I was just talking about that, and it just popped up. Okay. at least be noticing that, at least be aware that maybe that's a sign, maybe it's not. But if once you start being open to that stuff, a lot of other things kind of fall into place and everything. And Ed Sheeran calmed you down right there. So there's another point of his peaceful music and chord choices and his voice and his inflections right then did something to emotionally, mentally, and like body chemistry wise, you calm down. So you can change. You were mad, upset, pissed off, and all of a sudden you weren't. It's all okay.
Bro, you just made me think of something.
Yeah.
I think it was is it Pharrell from the Neptunes?
Yeah, Pharrell.
So okay, remember all the gangster rap and then the really bad dirty rap and all the horrible things that they would say?
Mm-hmm.
There was a time and it was cool and it was rebellious, and then these certain rappers started making music that was more pop and then they would get a lot of heat from the gangster rappers because like they'd be like, sucker, you're making pop music. But it was blowing up and they couldn't deny it. So then then Ja Rule came out and all these other people making this happy club. And then Pharrell came out, 'cause I'm happy, clap along if you feel like. Dude, I play that shit on Alexa and I'm dancing around the house and shit with my wife and dogs and like, because it's super positive.
And it makes you happy. And that's back to like what you put in you, from what you eat, what you hear and you think and all this, everything you absorb. So there was a time and place where, I listened to, heavy metal and stuff while I was cutting grass and all that. And it's great to still listen to like pump up music when you're maybe trying to get through a workout or whatever. But there might come a stage in a lot of people's lives that you need to be more aware of what you're absorbing, because it does, especially if you're having some struggles with some anxiety issues or stress and whatever, maybe even just some other health issues, which will bring on other things, then you just be more aware of what you put in. Don't watch something at night. You're going to find out naturally if something really horrible happened in World War III. So don't turn the news on before you go to bed. Don't turn on shoot 'em up, kill 'em up movie or something. Turn on something more relaxing or happy. Chill out every once in a while, okay? Be aware that you need to chill out every once in a while, and that other stuff can make you actually angry. And so you have to do these resets throughout your whole life, all the time. I'm still doing it. I'm going to be 52 in June, and I'm still trying to straighten myself out, ease myself back to a level playing field, And then today I can say I wasn't that stressed out, but then I started getting nervous about coming on here, and I had to do my little routine and all that. And you showed me you were doing a routine.
Yeah, if I don't work out and go jogging and get cardio or exercise, I freak out, bro. I feel constrained. I have to feel constant momentum, and if there is no momentum and it's just stagnant, it starts the walls close in, and I feel constrained.
Absolutely,
I can't fucking stand it, bro.
And that's why I started out with the fitness thing. I was shy and insecure, but I wasn't happy with my body and all that. But I started going and working out. I started with the basic thing, working out. I also was kind of working out because I wanted to look. I was super skinny, and I felt inferior, almost like not a man or something, because I didn't look like these other tough guys. But I went.
But if you go to the gym all the time, you see these huge dudes walking around.
Yeah,
and then you look at yourself, go, I gotta be that way too.
Yeah, but then eventually, while I was at the gym, I lost that urge to do. That wasn't like a main goal, but I quickly realized that just going and working out and everything was a benefit in itself. So the physical activity, and then as you read more and you study more and you get into self-help and the benefits of everything, that's the first thing someone can do if they're having any stresses or anxiety, is some form of exercise, whether it's just a walk or burpees in your house. It doesn't have to be that extreme even. Just do something, clean your house, get the vacuum out, do stuff. You do it long enough, your mind will leave some of your troubles. don't put on hardcore crazy jump up and get down or anything right now. While you're doing the work, you just start working out. If you want something on, make sure it's not going to push you in the opposite direction. You don't want to have, you want yin and yang, not, fighting each other. You want them to go together.
Yeah, positive inputs equal positive outputs.
Yeah, the first thing you can do though is get moving.
I knew someone that listens to heavy metal and they said it's very calming and soothing, and they listen to like demon death metal music.
I mean, I'm not going to say it. I listened to a lot of. I never really wanted to listen to
Great Southern Trend Cow.
Okay, that's
Pantera.
That's Pantera.
I love Pantera back in the day.
I've listened to pretty much all the metal stuff that came out throughout the 80s and 90s. And I can honestly say that whenever it was like devil talk and stuff, I always got scared of that stuff. I didn't.
No, I didn't like that.
So, but like, heavy, powerful stuff. I never found it that peaceful. I always thought it was just cool. And when you're young, you're full of energy and things. And so I'm listening to it. Yeah, cool. We're going to watch the hockey game tonight, man. They're going to kick some butt. And I'm listening to Metallica on the way, and Metallica is not a bad band, by the way. They're not doing.
Oh, they're great.
They're not doing like devil demon stuff. But I can say that listening to certain metal can be kind of cool and relaxing because there's a lot of musicality in there.
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't know. I think there's other choices too.
Yeah. Well, let's start to wrap this up. I like to keep these under an hour.
Okay.
And
we can do it again too. We can talk about something different. If somebody leaves some comments, what should we talk about next?
Oh, I love it. Well,
yeah.
all I got to do is click
want to talk more about social media and what they should do and shouldn't do, and why they can join up and get coached and have a blueprint, a guideline. Like we were saying, we got on here on the internet without a blueprint or a guideline. We just winged it. And everything was baby steps and wasn't that great until we figured out and we relaxed. Came ourselves and let it come through.
I could just click a couple buttons and we'll be live on 8 platforms, bro.
That's amazing, man.
You want to right now, sucker?
Well, are we going to go longer?
No, I think I'm good.
I think we should do that next time.
Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Chism, the GOAT of YouTube lawn care. That's the name of this. I hope everybody's doing well. If you're listening to this, Apple, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere, please takes 30 seconds. Go down, leave the show a quick, well-worded review, 5-star rating, hopefully. Boost it up the algorithm so more people can find it. And then thank you so much. And where can people find you, Greg? What's your YouTube channel?
Don't be scared. Greg Chisholm, it'll pop up. I just vlog something every once in a while. I've been sharing some of my old 10-year-old videos on there.
Oh, they're great.
Like this Week in Lawn Care series, it's like 2013 stuff. So
dude, you gotta go see it too.
Old, magical stuff. Like that's how it kind of started.
Amazing.
Yeah. 10 years, dude. We've been talking for 10 years now.
It's amazing. All right, I'll have you on again soon, bro. And we're gonna be going on a road trip for sure, actually, within the next month or two. Mm-hmm. And so we have to roll through and say what's up and grab some lunch.
Yeah. If you're coming through the area, let me know. I'll meet you wherever.
That's badass, dude. All right, thanks everybody. That's been this episode of the Untrapped Podcast. See you next time, and peace.